Now, what is the key message, or what I try to get across? Now, what I'm saying is the following. The financial crisis that we're in right now is far from over. We've been in this crisis for 5 years, and although the press often speaks about a recovery and a slow recovery, the fact is we've been in a crisis for 5 years. Since 2007, and then in 2008 it obviously hit the banking system here. We've been in a continuous crisis for 5 years. And I think the illusion of recovery or the illusion of stability or a mirage of sustainability is being projected through massive injections of new money into the banking system. Around the world now, all major central banks keep interest rates at zero or near zero. All these central banks are using their own balance sheet to stabilize financial markets. Practically, large parts of the financial system are on life support by the central banks, which provide them, zero interest rates and quantitative easing and these kind of measures. So my key message is the crisis is far from over, and I think the whole system is, I think, probably going to end fairly badly. But the key message I want to get across is that this was sooner or later inevitable, because the problem we're dealing with, we're not dealing with a normal business cycle. This is not just another recession that we just have to go through and that is a little bit stickier. It is a systemic crisis. It's something that has to do with fundamentally with the system. The system has ultimately checkmated itself, but it was sooner or later inevitable because of fundamental flaws to our system. And the fundamental flaw in the monetary system, I argue, is that we have built a monetary system over the last 40 years on the basis of an entirely flexible, entirely elastic paper money system. I argue that such a system is inherently unstable and is ultimately unsustainable. It must ultimately fail. And what we're seeing right now in this crisis is already the end game. How long this can be dragged out and how exactly it will end, we can talk about that as well. But I think the key message what I'm trying to get across is there are fundamental flaws to the system. A paper money system like we have it, like a fiat money system, in which, as Steve said, money is constantly being injected into the financial system. And so we constantly expand the supply of money, must lead to imbalances and instability. And when this instability and these imbalances hit and manifest themselves in a recession, the central bank prints more money even faster and lowers interest rates even further to offset the problems they created with the first round of money printing. And this has to destabilize the system ever further. And we are approaching the end game of this process. This is the key message for my book.